Hello, friends. So I wanted to talk to you this morning about a topic and something I've been doing since the very beginning. But for whatever reason, some people seem to believe that I no longer do it. Either maybe it's my network or tenure in the game or the market's different or whatever's happening. But this is about finding deals in the MLS, the multiple listing service. I've been very clear, right? I stated it multiple times in this book that we bought and retired on buy and hold rentals 95% of the time, bought out of the multiple listing service. Didn't know anyone, doesn't have a realtor, never did direct mail, never bought out of the MLS. But, as I've also said many times, we're constantly growing our network, and that when you do that, the deal flow grows. You have this channel, people reach out to you. It's all very true. Also left the workforce, I don't know, 16 or 17 months ago, and have more time to network and ask and look for opportunities and things of that nature. But I want us to be very clear. The last 3 deals that I've done, 2 of them are in escrow. Actually, all 3 of them are in escrow. One will close Friday. We're all bought out of the multiple listing service. I firmly believe that I will never do any real direct marketing, never hire virtual assistants, never do cold calling, never do any of that stuff. For one reason, I'm not trying to get gigantic. I'm happy doing 10 deals a year. But I'm convinced that I can do that out of the multiple listing service, right? Think realtor.com, think Redfin. Again, no special access. So I thought I would talk about the 3 deals that were done here recently out of the multiple listing service in a broad brush. The first one, the one that will close Friday, I don't normally pay over asking or write offers over asking. This was an opportunity that I thought was mispriced, and I first offered asking and then got to a multiple bid situation. Which I normally never do. I don't get in bidding wars. I kind of wait. I did think this was mispriced, so I raised it $3,000. That's all I did. And we got it because we can close quickly, right? I'm going to close within 8 business days. So paying cash, going to get it closed in 8 days. And I paid over asking. I believe in broad brushes, this house we bought for, let's call it 100. Let's say it takes 40, and then we'll sell it for 180. Even after all fees and all of that, there should be $25,000 or $30,000 left over. And again, because it was mispriced. And I've done a walkthrough since. I've done a video on it actually on this channel. It's the yellow house if you happen to look it up. But again, right out of the MLS. And again, it's because I look every day. This opportunity, if I had not seen it the day that it came out, I would never have had a chance. I think the listing hit about 9 o'clock. I had my offer in at 11. And then raised it the next morning and got the property. So that's one. The next one, again, right out of the MLS. This one was listed oddly, right? And that's something I look for a lot is something that doesn't look like everything else. So this listing made reference to the seller wanting to sell the house next door also, right? Happy to sell this one, but they would prefer to sell this house and that house. I'm like, okay, so well, what does that tell you? Well, it tells me the owner owns them both, minimum. But it also tells you that maybe something is wrong with the layout. Maybe there's a driveway or something, and they just need to sell them together. So I actually took it. I was heading down there, so I took a drive out. It's a little farther out of the area than I normally go. But sure enough, there's kind of this circle driveway that they've built between the 2 houses, right? One driveway and a circle. That I'm positive crosses both lot lines. So it's not a great idea, frankly, but since they owned them, I guess they did it. And so again, the houses are fine, right? We're going to go through them tomorrow, but I believe the houses are fine. It's just kind of an odd layout. And again, because we have cash and we can close quickly, we actually got this one for $60,000. Again, we've locked it up, right? So we're in escrow. We're going to walk through and make sure we still want them. But we got them listed for $30,000 less each property, so $60K total. because we could close on both. And I'm convinced because we're not owner occupants, we're not going to get appraisals and do all of that stuff. I think this particular property is going to be a very good rentals for someone because we will clean them up. We will stick 2 renters in them and then sell them together to someone. So again, I'll give more details. I'll likely take walkthroughs of this property. But again, right out of the MLS, looking for something odd in the description. We found it, called it up, and we got them for basically 30% under asking price. Right out of the MLS. No, it was there for everybody to see. So that was that one. And then another property we have, again, kind of 2 houses in a row. We actually were in contract, but actually backed out. These 2 have become, the owner wants to sell them, but they've unfortunately become targets for transients and squatters. They keep getting broken into every night, and it's going downhill fast. I'm convinced these will ultimately be burned down via arson or mistake or whatever. But again, seller was in distress, listed 2 houses side by side. Didn't make any reference to them, but they were, one was here, one was here in the list. And it was obvious it was the same agent. So we said, hey, is it the same seller? Yes. So we actually offered 60% of list price, and it was accepted. And then we did our walkthroughs, and it's like getting worse every day, and it just wasn't worth the headache. But again, right out of the MLS. And these are things that can happen. So if you don't think there's any deals in the MLS, it's because you're not doing your homework. I've talked about it a lot. I believe real estate investing starts by learning a new skill. I believe if you learn how to learn your market, my market's Fresno. Your market could be Texas, it could be DC, it could be wherever. But I believe any new investor should start learning their market. And I train you, or I show you how to do that in my course. It's really, really cheap. After the coupon code, it's $149. But what we do is we take you through how to learn your market. And by doing that, you're building a skill. And then once you learn your skill, you can transfer that skill to any other market. The other thing that's important is I see too many people getting excited about direct mail or cold calling or all these other things, which are awesome. Don't get me wrong, if you can do them. If you have a full-time job or these other things, it might not be an option for you. But again, I have been doing this for now 16 years, buying directly out of realtor.com, Redfin, whatever you want to call it. And it is possible. Assuming you're happy doing 4 or 5 deals a year, I'm convinced any market out there is going to have these oddball listings that if you pay attention, you do your homework, you understand what a bad, average, good, and great deals are. If you just learn how to do that in your market, you can retire financially free. You do that enough over time. You don't get distracted by shiny objects. You just keep putting in work. You keep sacrificing, living below your means, conservatively finance. You let inflation and time be your friend. You can absolutely retire with buy and hold real estate investing. So again, I wanted to create this video because I think there's too many people that think, hey, the real estate market's hot. I can't buy anything out of the MLS. And I've done 10 or 11 transactions this year with more than half. And the last 3 coming directly out of the multiple listing service. So not only is it possible, but it's highly probable, but you have to put in work. You have to understand your market. You have to be able to understand what a bad, average, good, and great deal are. And then when you learn what a good and great deal are, strike while the iron's hot, get off your tuchus and make it happen. So I hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. The great thing about the MLS is everything's for sale, right? So do your homework, figure it out, learn your market, build that skill, and then repeat if you want to change markets. All right, everybody, have a great day.